Hi guys, it's me Lore here. Welcome again to my YouTube channel. I hope you are enjoying my content. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can paint feathers with these amazing brushes. These are called raked brushes, and I have two different ones, two different sizes. One is from Panart and the other one is from Royal and Langnickel, but you can find them in different brands and different sizes as well. But they are perfect to paint feathers and also fur on animals. So today we're going to paint a blue throat bird, and I hope you enjoy it. Let's dive in. So for this painting I am using an A4 size watercolor paper, and I am drawing first and sketching my blue throat bird. This is a coloring page that you can find on my Patreon under my Sharks Club. And yeah, I simply just traced my coloring page of this bird, and now I am redrawing and adding more details to the bird. For this sketch I am using a mechanical pencil, and what I am doing here is just separating all of those different colors that the bird has, all of the different textures, and simply just making sure that I can draw a bird that's recognizable later. And yeah, lately I've been sketching all my drawings before painting them with this mechanical pencil. This is a Pentel 05 and is very light, very comfortable for me, and it runs very smoothly on any paper. So yeah, I definitely recommend it for sketches. Once the sketch is done, I'm going to take my raked brushes. This one is from Panart and is the biggest size that I have. So I'm going to start with that one with the lightest shades that this bird has. So I'm going for a yellowy, whitish tone for the belly of the bird. And as you can see, this brush is just amazing. You can emulate any feathers or fur that you're painting very easily without any effort. And what I usually do is I get a brush and I keep painting with it, even for areas that I might just not need it. But since I already have it in my hand, I'm a bit lazy and I don't change my brush, but I make it work, just turning and turning the brush for whatever area that I need. And also I like it that this way is not as perfect as just like a round brush where you have your perfect shape. This one is more like you can't control it as much. So I think that for painting feathers is just perfect. So as you can see there, the brush is just amazing. Yeah, so basically I started with the lightest colors, and then I am building a bit of color and a bit of contrast and going to the different colors that this bird has. And then every time I'm painting a different area, I'm just gonna make sure I save the white paper for the white areas that this bird has on its feathers. And as you can see, the brush helps me a lot with that texture. And of course I am adding more contrasts and making a wet on wet technique here, where I am adding a bit of darker blue on top of the lighter blue that I painted before. So I have that mix of color and it blends nicely. For this painting, I'm trying to do very simple layers, not adding a lot of layers like one on top of the other. I'm trying to keep it simple, just few colors and each in its own space, and then maybe adding some contrasts on top, but I'm making it very simple and also very important, and I'm really enjoying doing this lately, but just leaving the white and playing with the white of the paper, that really helps a lot to bring out the brightness in the bird and in your painting. And yeah, then I will add a little bit more contrast and details just with a slightly darker tone. And now it's the time to change the brush to my smaller size of the other raked brush that I have. This one is from Royal and Langnickel. As you can see, it's a bit different than the other one. It's my oldest brush, so it's a bit used, but I still love it. It's just for smaller areas. It's better than the other one, I would say, and also it has such fine hairs just at the tip of the brush that it's perfect for small details. And just like that, I'm building slowly the shape of this bird just with these two brushes and very little colors, just adding a bit more contrast just to make the painting pop out a little bit more. And yeah, maybe if you fancy it or if you need it like I did here, you can use a round small number brush just for the eye, the beak, or any other small details that you might have in the painting. And if you are not very comfortable painting like small details like the eyes or any small dark details that you might have, you can also use like a pencil or a colored pencil instead. Or maybe just use it on top of the watercolor once it's dry, just to make sure you have the exact details. That's just in case if you don't control very much like your brush, or if your brush is very thick and you're not comfortable doing like little details, you can do that. So yeah, here I'm just building more and more contrast and details on the bird. And now I'm painting the wing, which I think is the most difficult part on any bird painting that I've done. I kind of struggle a little bit with painting the wings because they have so many patterns and textures, and then they have very straight lines, so sometimes it's very difficult to achieve that with the round brush. That's why sometimes I just help myself with either pencil or a colored pencil or something like that. But I still try it, as you can see here. As well, you can also add that later on, so just you don't have to make a perfect painting. Just and then I am popping out some of the parts a little bit more with darker tones, just small details here and there, but this is what will make the painting pop out a little bit more of the page. And lastly, I am going to add some very light background. So with a very wet brush and a lot of water, I'm going to do some splashes and a little bit of like neutral background, because I don't want to give the background importance, but I do want the bird to be standing somewhere, just not floating. So that's why I sometimes add the background, and I love splashes. I think it makes the painting a little bit more special. For the splashes, I try to find either a color that I already used on my bird, like on my subject, or like a slightly lighter version of one of the colors, so it kind of complements the painting. Just like don't use a different color because it will look weird for sure. And once the watercolor is completely dry, I am going to add very, very tiny lines and details. And also I'm going to define those edges of the bird. I don't use the same strength in the lines all over. I just try and play with how much pressure I apply to the pencil, so I have different shades and different strengths in the lines. Yes, so I will do this a little bit all over the painting, and just to drive in even more attention to my subject and make it more contrasted and nicer, I would say, but some people will disagree, which is absolutely fine. We all have different styles and different techniques, and we all do what we can to make things our way and make things beautiful in a way. So yeah, this is my style, and this is how I like my drawings to be, and I just like contrasted paintings, and I don't know, maybe that's my style. And lately I will also add a little bit of white gel pen details, I think around the beak, and maybe 1 or 2 lines around the feathers, just to give an extra touch of shine. You can also use white gouache instead if you fancy it, or something like that. Any white pen or paint will do. And just like that, I've showed you how to use 2 raked brushes to make feathers for your bird paintings. And as you can see, they look as feathers because of the brush, which is great, and I love it. So I hope you enjoy using the raked brushes as well, and let me know in the comments. And this is how my painting turned out. I hope you enjoyed seeing the process, and I hope you enjoyed seeing how I use these raked brushes, and I hope you can try them because they are amazing and super easy to do, fur or feathers. Anyway, see you next week with another video. Bye! Say bye, Charlie!